Plenty of tornado watches and touchdowns today, now up to a number 10. Up to 8 of those, though, touching down in Arkansas alone. We'll get to that in just a second. First, the scenes out of Norman, Oklahoma. Well, I'll tell you what, you talk about putting fear in the folks in Moore and in Norman. This will do it. A time shot from at storm time lapse.
Yeah, we've had reports of at least 2 injured in Arkansas from severe weather today. There's look at Manford, Oklahoma. I mean, just I can't believe it, Rob. Another day, another severe weather event for the state of Oklahoma, and we've been tracking these storms all afternoon. Tornado watches, even tornado warnings for a time near Moore, Oklahoma this afternoon. And the severe weather continues to track up to the northeast into various areas of the Midwest. So the severe weather is our top story tonight, Rob.
Yeah, pretty amazing. When the wind energy gets there and if the timing is right, it looks like this on the radar. So here's what's coming up tonight.
All right, severe weather. We have the latest on what storms are developing and what we can expect into early tonight. It's hot in the northeast. It's pool weather, definitely. We have another hot day again tomorrow. High fire danger. We'll show you where coming up in our national forecast. But first, storm reports. Yeah, we've had at least a dozen tornadoes being reported. Some of those in Oklahoma, some in Arkansas. This is Guthrie, Oklahoma. A lot of storm chasers and a lot of people on edge, Rob, out there today. Yeah,
certainly it was a close call. Moore, Oklahoma, within about 30 miles of a tornado-warned storm. And that one, for a brief time, at least had a wall cloud with it, but never did produce any touchdowns. Most of our rough weather, though, has been in Arkansas. It's been right over the southwest and west central parts of the state. 5 injuries today, both of them in very small communities in Arkansas. And the power outage count out here in Arkansas extremely high and could go up more as storms with damaging winds continue to blow on through. You talk about some impressive rains. Let's take this full screen. You might be able to see the numbers a little bit better. Upwards of 2.5 inches of rain since midnight, according to the Oklahoma Mesonet site, that across northeastern Oklahoma. You can definitely pinpoint exactly where that dry line is, and it was the dry line today and still is. That's touching off these showers and thunderstorms. Dew points east of it, 68 to 70. Behind it in the 30s. This isn't a dramatic dry line, but it's enough discontinuity between two distinct air masses that the atmosphere wants to bend, wants to buckle, and produce these severe thunderstorms. Watches up, tornado watches from Dubuque down to Farmington, Missouri, and the watches continue late into the evening from Oklahoma down into northeastern parts of Texas. The rains, they keep on coming, and the skies got pretty ominous for a time in Iowa, Kristen.
I know. Here we go. Another round of storms and heavy rain for Iowa. We're coming off of our wettest spring ever on record. That's official. And in Marshalltown, Iowa, we did have some of that rainwater go into our creeks and streams. A lot of rivers running very high out there today. Only to add insult to injury, you know what? The corn crop may have to be replanted because of all this rain recently. Standing water in the fields, not good for the beginning of the corn crop. Look at this big upper level low. I mean, this thing's not moving much. A very rare east moist wind in Montana still giving us rain showers today with an additional inch by the end of our afternoon, and that on top of saturated ground also producing some flooding. So here it is, the big storm in the Great Lakes. That's going to slowly move on into the area by Friday. The winds behind the front more northerly, and that's going to drag in some cooler yet drier air. So eventually we will see an end to this storm by the early part of next week, but it's just another slow-moving storm for us. And the flooding potential is still running very high. That goes for western parts of Wisconsin through northern Illinois, almost the majority of Missouri. Look at that, into northern central Oklahoma. This is where we've had the saturated ground in place, and into the weekend we're still tracking the possibility of more rain. All right, Rob, but it's air conditioner weather in New York City.
No, the steam is on. You can hear the folks complaining about the weather. This was tied for, at least at JFK, the hottest day of 2013, but other communities got their hottest. Hartford, for example, 92 degrees. Boston, 88. It was sweaty, and it was just one of those days with dew points in the 60s. Best to be outside or in air conditioning. Because of the heat expanding, air quality alerts have been put up through the weekend. Impacts could be high for Cape Cod and the beaches of the Northeast throughout the weekend. So if you are susceptible to poor air quality, be wary of that as we go into the next 24 hours. 90s continuing into Friday across this area. Warm and sunny, a nice thing for California, but what's not so nice is you get low relative humidities, you get high winds. The fire danger just continues to climb, and the heat through Friday and Saturday continues to boil over in the southwestern U.S. That ridge of high pressure is going to build over the Rockies, and as it does, the weather in New Mexico, which is running about 10 to 15% in the relative humidity category, will continue to be on the high fire danger side through at least this upcoming weekend. Already, red flag alerts for northern New Mexico and northwestern parts of Texas. Here's your highs on Friday across the country as we check your local weather next.